All right, man. We back again. London Lemire. I'm just here to give you some game for your brain, little news you can use. It's something on my mind I want to talk about today. I think it's real important what I'm going to talk about today. And what I'm going to talk about today, it might offend some people. It might confuse some people. Some people might not like what I got to say today. But I got to say this because my goal with this subject is to really teach, especially the men. Women, I want women to gain something from this too, but especially the men. And so that's how we're gonna kick it off today. Let me know how y'all feeling the setup, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting things together. Got the candles lit to set the mood, set the ambiance. This is a eucalyptus burp. Yeah, eucalyptus burp right there, you know what I'm saying? Check that out, smells wonderful, aromatherapy. But what we're gonna talk about today is about sexual discipline. Yes, knowing how to control your urges, control your sexual energy, and even how to transmute that energy. Because believe it or not, man, like your sexual energy is actually creative energy. I mean, just think about it. Like this is how I feel. I don't know how y'all feel, but not to go too deep on y'all. Sexual energy, or rather, the act of sex, literally was created to create life. Like that's the actual purpose of sex. It's to create life, right? But man, as man does with most things, we take things and twist them and turn them upside down and turn them into things that they was never meant to be. But the true essence of sex is to create. Therefore, your sexual energy is actually creative energy. You follow me? So, learning how to harness that energy and transmute it, right? Redirect that energy could really benefit you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got those urges, sometimes when you got those urges and you want to, call somebody up or go out and mingle or get on the internet and pull your lotion out, stop yourself. Redirect that energy. Go put that into something creative. Go put that into something that you've been putting off for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you'll be surprised. You unleash that energy. Go to the gym. You'll realize, like, damn, I'm stronger today than I've ever been. That's because you're transmuting that energy, because your sexual energy is so powerful. It can create a life, right? I also want to take this a step further. And especially to the men, like you gotta realize when you are sexually disciplined, you become much more of a valuable man. When every woman cannot touch you or get a piece of you, like this only heightens your aura. Like they love you more when they can't touch you. When they can't touch you, man, they'll go all out their way to try to seduce you. And you gotta be able to stand firm, man. You gotta turn it down sometimes. You don't need to take everything that's handed to you. I told a young lady today, and we was just talking casually, and I was saying to her, not that she was trying to offer me anything or that anything was going on, but we was just having a good conversation. And I told her, I said, If you walked outside today and somebody handed you a plate of food and they was like, here, have this food, you should have this. And it could very well, it might have looked good, it might have smelled good, but you don't know where this food came from, what's in it, what's this person's motive. You don't know nothing. You just know you walked outside and bam, plate of food. You wouldn't take that plate. You wouldn't eat that plate, right? So this is not about food. You gotta look at your sexual energy the same way, controlling your desires the same way. Every day you walk out this door, it's gonna be temptation. It's gonna be people throwing a plate of food in your face all the time, and it look good, it smell good, but it may not be good for you, or it may not be the time to try that food. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to discipline yourself. Self-control, man. Like, think about how many people didn't ruin their lives because they couldn't control their sexual urges. Just think about that. Man, it's people in the jails. It's people in jail because they could not control their sexual urges, so they did some unthinkable things. All because they couldn't control that urge. It's people right now that's stuck in bad situations. They done created a child with somebody they don't even like. Somebody they can't even get along with. Somebody that they barely know because they couldn't control their sexual urge. And now y'all just brought a life into that madness. You see what I'm saying? Like, like this is deep, man. Like, this is deep, man. Like being disciplined on that level, man, it's an art. And everybody don't have it, man. Everybody don't have it, but it's a skill that can be developed. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, how many times I know people, man, right now, man, they get peer pressured into doing things. Like, you can literally get peer pressured into having sex with somebody. Real talk. Real talk. Like, cause you feel like you gotta, as a man, you might feel like this is the way to express your masculinity. The culture might tell you this is the way to express your masculinity, how many women you can sleep with. But in all actuality, man, what really is the definition of a true masculine man, a true powerful man, is his ability to resist his desires. If you cannot resist your desires, you cannot be trusted. A man who cannot resist his desires cannot be trusted. You can't be trusted. So if a man can't turn down sex, he can't be trusted, man. I'm just telling you, because think about this, right? Think about how many scenarios of, y'all have seen them in the movies, and we've seen this stuff play out in real life. If you have an enemy, if a man has an enemy, and the enemy is another man, he can't get close up on that man, right? Because he's identified as the enemy. But how do they often get their target? How do they get their target? They send a woman at him. They send a woman at him because he's going to succumb to his desires. The woman is going to seduce him, rock him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a great story in the Bible too. The story of Samson and Delilah. I encourage you to look that up. I'm not gonna sit here and try to quote it word for word, but basically, Samson was one of the strongest, most powerful men in the land, and he had some enemies who was trying to figure out his powers and take him out. But they could never beat him. He the strongest, most toughest, most ruthless individual. They can't do nothing with him. And he could see them coming from a mile away. So he ready. But what did they do? What did they do? They sent Delilah to him. Beautiful woman. And he was keeping her at arm's bay for a while. And then eventually he told Delilah the secret to his power, which was in his hair. She got him drunk, put him to sleep with the sex, cut his hair. The enemies rushed in. They took him over. They held him hostage, and it was over for him. So I'm just saying, man, Control your sexual urges out here. And then I haven't even mentioned, just be safe. Like diseases, like come on people. You don't want to be catching nothing. You don't want to be catching nothing out here, man. You don't want to be catching nothing out here, and you don't want to be having babies with people you don't like. Babies with people that just look good. No, man. No, we can't do that. So, men especially, control your sexual urges. I'm telling you, this puts you on a whole nother level as a man, and ironically, it attracts more women naturally because women always want what is hard to have. People in general, we always want what seems to be out of our reach. We always do. We always want more in life. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not so accessible to a woman, she's gonna want you more, man. I'm telling you. So, just keep that on your brain. That's just a little game for you. All is well.